Step into the unknown with the shadow frequency and your host, Matt Wilson, as he takes you where the shadows hum.
Welcome to episode 137 of The Shadow Frequency, where we dive into the eerie and unexplained. I'm Juniper, your producer, and tonight's chilling tale is about a pair of mysterious stone heads that unleashed a nightmare in 1970s England. The Curse of the Hexham Heads is a story that'll make your skin crawl. So buckle up. Matt, what do you think about these creepy carvings?
Oh, Juniper, these heads are like something out of a horror movie. Small, ancient, and apparently packing a paranormal punch. I'm ready to dig into this one.
I knew you'd be all over this, Matt. All right, listeners, let's step into the shadows with Matt Wilson as he unravels the curse of the Hexham Heads. Take it away, Matt.
Welcome to the Shadow Frequency, where the veil between our world and the unknown grows thin. Tonight, we're traveling back to February 1971 to a quiet garden at 3 Reed Avenue in Hexham, Northumberland, England. Two brothers, 11-year-old Colin and 9-year-old Leslie Robson, were digging in their backyard when they unearthed something strange. Two small stone heads, each about the size of a tennis ball, carved from greenish-gray stone flecked with quartz crystals. One, called the Boy, had a skull-like face with striped hair, almost masculine in its stark features. The other, dubbed the Girl, or sometimes the Hag, stared out with bulging eyes, a beaked nose, and traces of yellow and red pigment in its tied-back hair. At first, the boys were thrilled, a curious find for two kids messing around in the dirt. But what they didn't know was that these heads carried something dark, something ancient, something that would soon turn their lives into a waking nightmare. The Robson family brought the heads inside, placing them in their living room. Almost immediately, the house became a stage for the paranormal. Objects moved on their own, chairs sliding across the floor, glass bottles hurling themselves against walls, shattering in the dead of night. The heads themselves seemed to have a life of their own, shifting positions when no one was looking, as if watching the family. Colin woke one night, sobbing, claiming invisible hands had yanked his hair. His mother, Jenny, heard strange noises, cracks, and thumps that echoed through the house. But it wasn't just the Robsons. The neighbors, the Dodds, living at 1 Reed Avenue, began experiencing their own horrors. Ellen Dodd, the mother next door, described a creature that appeared in her home one night. A being on all fours, half man, half sheep, its eyes glinting with malice as it touched her leg before vanishing. Her husband saw it too, padding down the stairs like a predator. The neighborhood was gripped by fear, and the heads were at the center of it all. The heads were eventually handed over to Dr. Ann Ross, a respected expert in Celtic artifacts at the University of Southampton. She believed these carvings were 1,800 years old, tied to ancient Celtic head cults, where such objects were venerated as symbols of divinity or the soul itself. But even Dr. Ross wasn't spared. While keeping the heads in her home, she woke one morning to a chilling sight: a part wolf, part man figure creeping out of her bedroom. She followed it downstairs toward the kitchen, but it vanished into thin air. Days later, her daughter, Bernice, encountered the same werewolf-like creature on the stairs, leaping over the banister and disappearing into a corridor. Ross felt a cold, oppressive presence in her study, her door bursting open without cause. She was convinced the Hexham Heads were cursed, and they brought this entity with them. Some whispered the creature was linked to the Hexham Wolf of 1904, a spectral beast blamed for slaughtering livestock in the area. Was it the same entity, stirred awake by the heads? The stones seemed to pulse with an unnatural energy, as if they held memories or spirits, trapped within their quartz-flecked surfaces. Dr. Don Robbins, a chemist who later studied the heads, proposed the stone tape theory, that the quartz in the stones could store psychic echoes of ancient rituals, replaying them like a supernatural recording. Whatever the truth, the Heads left a trail of terror wherever they went. Juniper, this story is wild. I mean, werewolf-like creatures and haunted stones, it's like these Heads were a key to some dark, ancient force. What do you think so far?
Matt, I'm getting goosebumps just hearing about that half-man, half-sheep thing creeping around. Just like those Heads opened the door to something sinister.
Yeah.
Listeners, are you feeling the chill yet?
Oh, I bet they are. All right, Juniper, let's take a quick break. We're not done with these Heads yet. Over to you.
Wow, listeners, can you believe the eerie power of those Hexham Heads? It's like they're staring right through time, stirring up spirits and chaos. What do you think? Cursed artifacts or something else entirely? We're diving deeper in a moment, but first, please like and subscribe to The Shadow Frequency on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and all the major podcast directories. You can visit our website, too, at shadowfrequencypodcast.com. You can catch up on all our episodes. You can leave us a voicemail telling us where you're listening from. You can check out the Shadow blog, grab some cool swag. You can check out Shadow Frequency Radio that we just started a couple days ago. It's streaming 24/7, back-to-back episodes of the Shadow Frequency. So, thought you might like that. You can also support us by buying us a coffee on the site. Now let's get to the mailbag segment where we share your thoughts and spooky stories. Stay tuned while I reach over here and hit the button.
It's time for the Shadow Frequency mailbag.
All right, it's time for the mailbag where we hear from you, our amazing listeners. Today we've got an email from Ben in California. He writes, I love listening to the Shadow Frequency while in bed. It's the perfect mix of creepy and captivating. The new radio stream is awesome. Keep up the spine-chilling work. Oh, thanks, Dan. We love hearing that. Keep those messages coming, folks. You can reach us at shadowpodcast@protonmail.com. All right, Matt, back to you for the rest of this haunting tale.
Welcome back to the Shadow Frequency. We're knee-deep in the mystery of the Hexham Heads. Those eerie stone carvings that seem to summon poltergeists and a werewolf-like entity in 1970s Hexham. After terrifying the Robson family and Dr. Ann Ross, the Heads were passed around to various researchers, each encounter adding to their dark legend. Dr. Don Robbins, the chemist who studied them, reported bizarre occurrences, like his car's electronics failing when he placed the Heads inside. He became obsessed with the idea that the Head's quartz content could act like a supernatural recorder, replaying ancient energies or even summoning entities. The Heads were later handed to a dowser named Frank Hyde in 1978 for experiments, but after that they vanished. No museum, no collector, no one has claimed to have them since. Some say they were buried again to stop the curse. Others believe they're hidden in a private collection, still radiating their malevolent energy. The Heads' power didn't just affect those who held them. In 1976, BBC's Nationwide aired a report on the Hexham Heads, featuring interviews with Jenny Robson and Dr. Ross. The segment included a jarring clip from the 1961 horror film The Curse of the Werewolf, with Oliver Reed's snarling face flashing on screen. That image burned itself into the minds of viewers, especially kids watching at home, cementing the Heads' terrifying reputation. One viewer, Tony Pollard, now a professor, recalled being so scared at age 10 that he left the room, only to return just as the werewolf clip played. The report blurred the line between fact and folklore, making the Heads a cultural phenomenon. But here's a twist that makes you wonder. In 1974, a local man named Desmond Craigle came forward claiming he'd carved the Heads in 1956 as toys for his daughter when he lived at the Robsons' address. He said they were made of concrete, not ancient stone, and had no supernatural properties. But his story didn't add up for everyone. The Heads looked and felt older, as Craigle couldn't replicate them when asked. Plus, how could simple toys cause such widespread paranormal chaos, even if he made them? Could they have absorbed some ancient energy from the land near Hadrian's Wall, a place steeped in Celtic history? Or were the hauntings just mass hysteria fueled by fear and suggestion? The Hexham Heads remain one of Britain's strangest mysteries. Are they Celtic relics tied to a death cult, as Dr. Ross believed? Or are they modern creations that somehow became vessels for something darker? Their disappearance only deepens the enigma, leaving us to wonder if they're still out there, waiting to be found, ready to unleash their curse again. Juniper, these heads are like a paranormal puzzle box. Every time you think you've got it figured out, something else creeps in. What's your take on that Kregel claim?
Man, I don't know if I buy that toys for my daughter story. Those hauntings were too intense for concrete playthings.
Yeah, no
It's
kidding.
like the heads chose to wreak havoc.
Right? Well, listeners, that's all for the Hexham Heads tonight. Juniper, wrap us up.
What a creepy ride through the curse of the Hexham Heads, from poltergeist chaos to werewolf sightings. Those little stones packed a big paranormal punch. You can visit our website too at shadowfrequencypodcast.com. You can catch up on all our episodes. You can leave us a voicemail telling us where you're listening from. You can check out the Shadow blog, grab some cool swag. You can check out Shadow Frequency Radio that we just started a couple days ago. It's streaming 24/7, back-to-back episodes of the Shadow Frequency. So, Matt, say goodbye.
Stay spooky, everyone.
Until next time, keep tuning into the Shadow Frequency, where the unknown is always waiting. Good night, Shadow Seekers.
Good night.
This episode was produced with a commitment to exploring the unexplained while grounding our discussion in documented discoveries. All interpretations are speculative and intended for entertainment purposes.